Oh man, another one. Like, are you doing the math on these? Because they're not stopping, okay? Combat Jack Show, infinity, okay? It does not stop. It doesn't stop.
Stop snitching.
Bro, stop snitching.
That's a nice piece, B.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
I like that.
What size you wear? What size you wear?
I wear XL.
Yeah.
What you got on the joint, B? You made your goal today?
Yeah, oh yeah, I made my goal today too.
Yeah. Yo, these shits work, B.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely motivate you to get out, you know, get up and do something. You know, at least. But sometimes when I'm low on my points,
I gotta
work it out.
Oh, see, I was
work it out. If you're low on your points, work it out.
I was gonna ask.
Get ready for combat.
No escaping.
Get ready for combat. Get ready for combat.
No escaping.
Dallas on the format. Get ready for combat. Get ready for combat.
Get ready for combat.
Yeah. I can't hear myself. Am I on?
Internet's
Can you
how
hear me?
hype do you
Can
get
y'all
when
hear
you
me?
hear that
Can
intro?
you hear me on the headphones?
Y'all get hype.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
I can't
sir.
hear myself. Tech. Test.
We hear you out here, combat.
Testing.
We hear you out here, combat.
Internets, you are tuned into the Combat Jack Show.
Chill.
Salutes and Numinati. What up, Dallas Penn?
Combat, what's good, brother?
I see you drinking that, man. That clear right there.
No, that's that water.
That's that clear, right?
I got that water.
You got that French water, right?
I got that water.
What's up, my man?
What's good?
Man, everything's good, B.
Yes, sir.
Everything is beautiful.
Yes,
man.
sir.
I'm
Beautiful,
glad-
beautiful day today.
I'm glad to see you here, man. Once again, another
It's
week.
always good to be seen, brother.
It doesn't stop.
It's
right?
good to be seen.
Well, exactly.
Okay?
Exactly. What's up, Chris?
What's up?
How you feeling, man?
Exact
A
producer.
little crazy, but I'm all right.
Yeah. What's so crazy, man?
You know, long day. We got a guest in the green room.
We got a chalk. We got
an interesting show. lined up.
show.
It's a little
lined up.
different. It's gonna be a little different tonight.
Y'all gonna get this work.
Right.
They don't even know it's going to be different. Listen, internet is going to be exactly why you are listening right now. You know what it's going to be. You
It's that
sit
work.
right there
It's that
and
work.
listen and get this and take this.
What's up, Premium P?
It's another day, man.
Yeah.
I really feel like the sun is coming out on this show. I really feel like last week with those guys and the gifting and just there was a lot of love in the air. You know, a lot of love.
You know, I got some hate mail
Finally, well, I mean, you should.
from your people,
Who? What do you mean? When you say my people, what do you mean?
from your constituents.
When you
the
say my
Combat Jack
constituents,
Show.
who?
I looked on my site,
Okay.
and there were several comments saying that I came at you the wrong way last week. That I was wrong and I played myself, and it was
What?
a bad look.
Who said that?
Couple of internets.
Could have been
you
some
know,
white
Fucky
people.
birds.
Some white people.
And I guess they're
Obviously, Fucky Bergs and the Jenkins.
I guess they felt that we muffled Pete, which we didn't do at all.
Muffled.
Muzzled.
Muzzled.
We muzzled you. Did we muzzle? Can you tell your friends, man, whoever's defending you, that we didn't muzzle you last week?
Nah, I mean, I think that if anybody felt a little bit sided, I think it could be because like I didn't argue with you. I literally apologized last week, and I told them that I was sorry, and I didn't mean to cut you off, and I didn't really want to like get into an argument with you. So I kind of like I don't think
Rightfully
I don't think the internets were used to that. They were used to me and you going at it.
So it made me look like a bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, and then you kept on going on a little bit because you were like, well, are we good? And I was like, of course. Like I kept on apologizing, and you may have hopped for a quite second.
I tell you what. I don't think what anyone ever really got to hear. Premium Pete, you apologized to Combat for cutting him off during his story, his heartfelt, emotional industry ups and downs story.
Yeah.
Do you accept Premium Pete's apology?
Man, I love Premium Pete, man.
Of course.
Premium Pete is the heart and soul
Yes.
of this show. Like, even on
Yes.
certain days when I'm like, man, I don't want to do this anymore, Pete is like, let's go.
Right.
Pete is the heart and soul of this show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when
Pete's the battery.
He's the battery that gets in everybody's back.
Mm-hmm.
You know
12
what I'm
volt.
saying? What'd you say?
12 volt.
What's 12 volt?
Battery.
12 volt battery?
Volt.
Oh,
12 volt.
12 volt. Okay. I thought that was a new brand.
Yeah.
No, but listen, it could have been some white people coming at you. You know, they figured that you were coming after me, and they were sticking up for me. It's about time that some white people stuck up for me. You know,
You feel that white people haven't been sticking up for you?
they could. I mean, those are the people that are going on your site and making those comments, probably.
You know what I like about white people, man, is that you guys do stand by each other, man. You guys have such a universal sense of unity, man. And I know last week we were talking about whether we should continue with the pause game and whether we should continue using the word nigger.
Mm-hmm.
And, at the time last week when we had that argument, I was in a different place. But this weekend I watched Prometheus on my time off, watching it on the iPad. I hadn't seen Prometheus. I love sci-fi. I'm a fan, bro. I'm a geek.
Of course.
Yo,
I mean, weren't you upset though that they backed out of Prometheus right before it dropped, and they said, "Oh, Prometheus is not going to be part of the Alien storyline"?
See, I didn't follow all of that.
Alien.
I didn't follow all of that marketing nonsense. I just wanted to see the movie at the right time. So I was winding down this weekend. I watched a movie, and my mind.
What was your motivation to see Prometheus?
Because somebody sent it to me via email.
What was your motivation to watch that? Of all the crap you get via email, you get more crap.
Because
than
I
a little bit.
wanted. That was on my queue. I mean, how can I not watch?
Why would you? What would make you want to watch it?
How can I not watch Scott Ridley's return to the Alien franchise?
Isn't that marketing?
I mean, but it's also his past work. You know what I'm saying? Alien was amazing. Blade Runner was amazing.
Here we go.
You understand?
I wish
at least wanted to see, even though it got bad reviews or so-so reviews, I still wanted to see it. I just wasn't going to sit through in the theater and watch it. So I'm watching it, man, and it kind of blew my mind. It was really subtle, and this is a spoiler, so if you haven't seen Prometheus, turn your radio down or just F it, right? So,
Don't see Prometheus if you haven't seen it yet.
I mean, it's not that bad. I liked the movie.
Okay.
For what it was.
Okay.
It wasn't Alien.
No.
But I liked the movie for what it was. But I'm watching this movie, man, and, the premise is that there were these alien astronauts that landed on Earth before the dawn of humankind, and they kind of planted the seed that created humanity, created humans. But I was a little disappointed because it was this astronaut creator, and to me, he looked like a white man. And I'm like, my God, even in science fiction, the God complex does not end. The God complex does not end. The white superiority complex does not end. This thing does not end. So thinking back on what I was talking about last week on the show, it's like, how can I continue to use the word nigger when the God complex is in overdrive? I mean, I think
you want me to tell you how you can?
I think the plight of the black community is that we don't get to see that many examples of black excellence in our daily lives. We call ourselves niggas every day. We watch ourselves on a TV screen shooting at each other and on the late night news and the rap videos and the whole nine. And everywhere else, man, is the God complex is in full effect. So I kind of made a spiritual choice, man, last week. Independent of the conversation we had on our last show.
Yes.
That I'm going to fall back on that word, man. Because I want to start promoting black excellence. I want to start promoting our own God complex.
So then really that word is equates blackness to you.
No, it's loaded. It's loaded.
And you're going to carry that load.
You're
going to hold that load?
I'm going to let go of that load, B.
Hold that load.
I'm not going to hold the load.
Okay.
Internets. We have an incredible guest.
Yes.
Who's going to drop a lot of knowledge.
Statistics.
He's going to drop science.
Yes.
Science and math.
She blinded me with science.
And he's representing New Media Metrics.
Numinati.
Yes, you are.
First 360. They did the first 360 cross-platform analysis.
Hold on for a second.
Of Caucasian and African American consumers.
What are you reading from?
I'm reading from
USA Today.
I'm reading from USA Today.
Crossword puzzle.
Newsweek.
Wow, because I mean, we're getting fantastic words in here.
So I want to welcome to the Combat Jack Show Gary from New Media Metrics.
Gary.
Hi, Gary.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Gary. How are you doing?
Good.
What is a 360 cross-platform?
Well, I mean, what we do, 360 cross-platform study is just a a lot of big words, but basically what we've done is we're measuring emotional attachment to people's emotional attachment to brands and to their 360 view of media as well, so that marketers can understand the relative importance of different consumers for them, and they can find them in media that they are very engaged in.
Now, recently your firm made it into the news because you guys made a discovery that.
Well, recently what we did our very first African American 360 study. We had been doing emotional attachment studies across the general marketplace for many years, and we decided that we're very interested in understanding the importance of emotional attachment is that the more attached people are to different brands, the more they contribute revenue to that brand, and the more attached they are to media property, the more likely they are to pull the media to them. Think of emotional attachment as almost a gravitational pull. What you're emotionally attached to, you pull to you. And in mathematical terms, if you're attached to different brands at different levels, you're going to be more likely to pull that brand or that media property to you. So what we were very interested in...
Gary, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm still buzzing at the idea of a 360 platform. I mean, what's entailed in 360 degrees?
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So 360 media just means we were interested in all the different types of media that people may pull to them. In other words, television networks, but also internet sites, social, mobile, out of home, print,
visual,
programming,
billboarding,
all different types of media, because we're in a world, right, that's 360. I mean, we're surrounded by media.
Completely surrounded.
I want to know if there was any African Americans that were on the bill doing this African American study. Because, I mean, if it was all white guys, I don't fucking believe this shit.
No, I believe. I'll tell you what, Gary, I believe it because white guys do the math. All right, we have fun. We joke. Somebody builds fucking bridges and tunnels. White people. Let's talk about it.
So wait a minute. We're going off, man. Gary, so what did your study find?
My study found that African Americans are very highly attached to many different brands, much more so than Caucasians.
Yes.
So, there were over 300 brands that we measured emotional attachment to, and over 70% of those brands found higher emotional attachment amongst African Americans. So what that means to a marketer is that they better take the African American community very seriously, because emotional attachment is reflective of how much money they provide to different brands, and they may not be spending. Marketers may not spending the fair share of their marketing dollars against that that segment of the market.
But because African Americans are so loyal, in a way, do you even really have to market to them?
Of course. Because you're never completely loyal to anything. I mean, if you look at the recession caused people who were super attached to, let's say, Starbucks to start going to Dunkin' Donuts as soon as that was,
as soon as the price point became prohibitive.
I don't think they were attached enough. I'll be honest with you,
well, Dallas, if you look at Timberland,
yes.
If you look at Timberland, which had a very brand loyal black audience,
yes, and still does.
But at a certain point, they lost a lot of loyalty.
And I'll tell you how they lost that loyalty. And Gary, I'll tell you this, and I'll tell anyone listening, if you would like to be attractive to prime African American consumers, then get the F away from African American consumers. Go to the Hamptons. Okay, go up to the mountains. Avoid being seen, hanging out with, being friends with African Americans, and that will be so attractive to us.
So you're saying the further you get from marketing to African Americans,
the further you get from marketing to African Americans as an urban demographic, as a cool demographic, when you just listen, polo, I love polo, and polo is about a game called polo.
I don't think it's about being associated with African American culture or not disassociating yourself. I think the reality is that you need to follow your consumer, and if your consumer is attached to your brand, then you need to dig down deep and understand emotionally why they're attaching to your brand, and you need to respond to that respectively with whatever that is.
You need to harvest that loyalty.
You need to leverage that loyalty. You never own a customer. Never. I mean, I know you're loyal to the Polo brand, but they don't own you. I mean, you could turn around and for some reason tomorrow your loyalty may wane.
So you're saying don't take your audience.
Never take your audience for granted. Absolutely
What are
not.
some of the brands that you found that African Americans were very strongly emotionally attached to?
Oh, there were plenty, but from the automotive, it was Lexus and Mercedes. Wow. Significant more emotionally
I could see the
attached.
brothers down south.
How many black children are named Lexus and Mercedes?
There's a lot of
That's
strippers.
right there.
Puerto
That
Rican
right there.
also.
The other brands that they're attached to are Doritos and Oreos, Ragu, huge emotional
That's a shame.
attachment.
Blame Wu-Tang for Ragu.
Yeah.
Blame Wu-Tang for Ragu.
You're
On the
Italian.
Ragu.
Oh,
What's it with
Ragu
Ragu?
is the worst thing in the world. Like, put it this way:
Hey, hold
if you
on.
ever invite me to Olive Garden, go fuck yourself. Because, like, for me as an Italian, I would never use.
Yo, you are
Ragu.
disrespecting Tony Starks right now.
I don't give a fuck. If I told
Not
my
fucking with
mother
Ragu.
that I use Ragu, okay, she would disown me.
Gary, what other brands, man?
Apple?
Clorox, Xbox.
Hey, you know why it's Clorox?
Why Clorox?
Because they got to bleach all them white teeth.
The white tees, right?
I'll tell you what. If Clorox had spelled their product name CKS, blacks would not fuck with that. Blacks fuck with shit with X in it. Malcolm X.
Gary, what else?
Listerine, Scope. What's with the fresh breath? Is that
Weed
is
smokers.
that
Marijuana users.
okay?
Hold on a second, man.
I mean, Asians
But don't-
use.
don't-
Yo, why you?
Listerine.
Now you on the snitching side of the desk,
But
man.
don't more
Talking to-
Caucasians smoke marijuana?
More Caucasians smoke
They
marijuana.
smoke crack too. There's
Hold
a
on
lot
a
of
second. This is the Combat Jack Show. What are we saying Caucasians for?
white people.
White people.
All right, Gary, what else?
Snickers.
Yeah, Snickers.
Did he just say the N word?
For real. Don't you come in here and say Snickers. Have you ever seen a Snickers out of the wrapper? You see what a Snickers looks like out of the wrapper?
Yeah.
Yo, do not eat Snickers, okay?
I thought he said the
Do
N
not
word.
put your mouth on Snickers.
Stop, Dallas. Stop. Okay, Gary.
Walmart, Victoria's Secret.
I
Victoria's
fucks with
Secret.
Walmart. I fucks with Walmart.
Victoria's Secret. I'm
Vicky's
surprised
Secret,
by
of
that.
course.
Really?
Vicky's Secret. If a black woman doesn't have some Vicky Secrets drawers or some kind of Vicky Secrets item in her
The spray-
archive
body
in her
spray.
closet, she's like you, Combat. Like you haven't been to Red Lobster.
I haven't been
Is
to
Red Lobster on the list?
Cheddar biscuits.
Black people love Red Lobster.
Yeah, you need to. You know what? You need to get an actual black person to do these surveys because then I think you would
You
have
think
more.
we just made it up?
No,
Yeah,
no,
I
no,
mean,
no, they didn't make it.
2,500.
Are you offending? Are you trying to offend? are
No,
you
they
trying-
didn't make
I'm not offending him. I just think there's more pertinent brands that could be.
Well,
could have been told.
name one.
Well, exactly like Jordans. Okay, like
Jordan isn't a,
Nike?
Listen, Nike is the
Nike,
brand.
there is high attachment.
I didn't hear you
amongst
say Nike.
Now,
Well,
Gary,
Come on,
didn't give me a
premium.
chance.
Gary,
premium.
I noticed that you don't have a lot of fashion brands in the study.
Right. We did not. This particular study was not developed particularly for fashion or for high-end luxury either. It was a broad scope view, and now that we've learned a few things, maybe we'd go deeper into those areas.
Gary, did you guys look at any like financial
Yep.
products?
Fidelity had high emotional attachment in the
Nice.
African American community.
Allstate. I mean, who else would offer financial products? I mean, African Americans tend towards life insurance more than say home ownership. Is that a truth? Or am I
Understand
lying?
what I'm saying is that it's not that what I'm talking about right now is not whether they're attached or not attached to a particular brand, but I'm talking about brands that there's significantly more emotional attachment amongst African Americans.
No.
So they are attached to Red Lobster, but not significantly.
How did you forget
more.
KFC?
It's on the study.
I got to look at this first.
Now,
There's 360 brands.
I'm gonna look at all of them. I'm sorry,
Now,
Gary.
Gary, what triggers these emotional attachments? What do you think? Has your study covered that?
Well, what we measure is somebody's unwillingness to give up something, and it's really, to be quite honest with you, and I don't
Freudian.
want to bore you guys, but it's developed off of an academic theory that was initially developed to measure attachment between mother and child. And therefore, I'm not making
That's pretty
this stuff
interesting.
up.
No. This is awesome.
This is real human behavior research that it's based off. And what we found is that if you can measure someone's, it's a right brain metric, because we don't ask people to think about anything. They click through very quickly through a brand list and a media list. And if they are if they're unwilling to give up a brand, that means that they're holding on for dear life, and they will buy the product more frequently, go deeper into the product line, they'll spend more on the product, and they'll do all those wonderful things that make them highly profitable. By the way, the study also showed that African Americans are significantly more attached to media. So all different types of media, whether it was television or whether it was websites or social media, certainly also very high attachment to
Gadgets
video,
and smartphones.
Video on tablets.
Yeah.
All-star.
So you may want to get that website back up and running.
So the lesson in your study is basically.
The lesson in this study is you need to really, one, the African American community is a very strong, loyalist marketplace. You need to as a marketer, you need to take a step back. You need to make sure that you understand the level of emotional attachment that different customers are providing to you. You need to make sure that your marketing spend is aligned with that, so that you can leverage that buying power and that emotional attachment. And don't take anything for granted. You need to understand that.
Gary, man, thanks for coming on the show, man.
Thank you very
anything
much.
you want to leave our audience with, man?
Just the importance of really understanding who you're marketing to, and the importance of the African American community in their buying power and their loyalty to your brands should not be overlooked, and should be not taken for granted either.
Where can they
Thank you,
find
Gary.
this list? Where can they find this list online? Is it online, or they can find this list if somebody wants to look up all the brands and stuff like that I was asking you before?
They generally buy it
Okay, and where could they find that at?
at my website at newmediametrics.net.
Okay.
Gary, thanks so much, man.
Thank
Illuminati.
you.
You about to get this work.
Love it.
Beloved, you about to get this work. I'm glad to announce, man, that we got the one and only Loaded Lux in the building today. What up, Lux?
Oh man, blessed.
Harlem on the rise.
Yeah, you be knowing. We live
And you
and
want no
love it.
problem with them guys. Now, Lux, I was worried, man, because I heard you wasn't going to make it tonight, man. And I went all out, man. We got all the promotions and the whole nine, man. Got the beautiful artwork. What's up, beloved? What's
I'm
going
here.
on? You not feeling the Combat Jack show?
No, I ain't never know about not being able to make it.
Okay.
Shoot.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here, man.
Yeah, I'm blessed. I'm glad
you're here,
I'm
man.
too.
Yo, congratulations, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yo, congratulations, man, dude.
Yo, it's so surreal right now. We've been doing this since our high school lunch table flow. You know what I'm saying? So the
Lunchroom
to see
battles.
You be knowing. So to see battle rap get to this point, man, to where it once again helps to cultivate hip hop all over again. It's just so dope to me. You know what I'm saying? The word is back.
Yo, how did it get to this point? Because I've been a part of hip hop for as long as I can remember.
The word never left.
But with the turn of the century, I personally was never like following like the whole Smack DVD movement. I wasn't necessarily following, a lot of the battles, and then it seemed like at a certain point, man, like it kind of like escalated to like it de-evolved to like animality where when cats really got into
King word of the
somebody's
day.
chest.
Yeah.
Cats would just result, they would just get violent, B.
Yeah.
So how did it get this big, man? Like where, cats are paying $75 and up, and you got Diddy and Q-Tip and Busta and the Ciroc and the Ciroc girls. How did it get so big, man? What did I miss?
No, a lot of collective grinding. You know what I'm saying? Because Smack showed up when it's still pure now. You know what I'm saying? But like before, it was just such an industry like it is now, though.
Right.
You should do this on the corners, man. after parties and everything. So Smack just happened to put a camera on us one day. So from the DVD days, you know what I mean, he always kept it, you know what I mean, even if it was in the back of the issue on the DVD, it was there, it was prevalent, and it always had a circle that talked about the battles. I mean, I came up battling.
Would you go to like concerts and like wait at the back door after the show just to like, you know, whoever the headliner was to be like, yo, just give him a ball?
Shoot, I never did that per se, you know what I'm saying? But I did things where I at least tried to hand my music out, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I went through that phase of it. Yeah. You know, but
Fat Beats tapes, SOBs.
Yeah.
SOBs. Shout out to Percy P. Shout out to Percy.
Shout out to Percy, man. Word, beloved.
So Lux, man, it seemed like you had developed like an incredible reputation in this battle arena, right?
Yeah.
And at a certain point, I was looking at some of your older tapes.
Okay.
It seemed like you was just gonna fall back from the battle scene. What was that about, man?
Yeah, well, in making a name for myself, it was just never at the time, or I didn't know if it was prevalent. We didn't see it on this side of things. There was never like a outlet that just catered strictly to battle rappers. And if it did, you know what I mean, it didn't cater to those that I thought was of the cloth. And when I say of the cloth, I mean really had something to say, you know what I mean, lyrically. I mean like that rewind fine is more to find. So in terms of me having a voice, I understand that I have a lot of responsibility in having that voice. So I always wanted to put others on the stage that meant something to help to cultivate, you know what I mean, the culture, you know what I mean, within the culture, and battle rapping being like one of the essential elements of hip hop, you know what I'm saying? I thought it was my duty. I put myself in a catalyst role, like I gotta do this, you know what I'm saying? So I knew the dudes that they used to always ask me like, yo, who inspires you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
who inspires you, man?
I mean, you know, definitely the same. You know, you hear the same Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, and yeah, like a lot of those mainstream artists definitely inspire me. Like I can't take nothing away from any of them because I listen to all their music. You know, I got a mean catalog when it comes to music. I'm kind of like a connoisseur. I just love those that has something to say with the message. So yeah, man. I mean, Jay-Z definitely. You know what I mean? Nas. I mean, I'm talking people that when they give it up, they give it up.
Anybody
you know
outside of rap?
Yeah,
got your ear?
That's what I'm saying. This is what when they used to ask me that, those names were in it, but more so, and really to be honest, the dudes that I came up with in the neighborhood. I swear a lot of y'all not. Like, I remember, man, being out there 13. I remember when I first seen Mace on the block or Big L giving me my first, you know, pat on the back, like, shorty, you got something. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep going. So I was more inspired by being on the corner in them ciphers.
Right.
You know what I mean? And knowing like 135th Street and 7th Avenue is where after the YMCA parties, it was going down on the corner. You know what I'm saying? Or certain school parks when Jay Mills battled J.R. Ryder. Like, these were things that we talked about. You know what I mean?
The behind the scenes.
Yeah. You know
like
what I'm saying?
The real, like cats
The
under
core.
the pressure.
Yes,
So that's
yes.
so in a sense, is that the direction when you was a shorty? Is that where you wanted to be? You wanted to be in the Coliseum.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. Cause my first session, actually dude that the world knows too, Head Ice. Head Ice brought me to another one of my I want to say my first like studio sessions. He brought me to my first like recording session. Like I never was recording, but I used to write. I used to hear dudes on the corner spitting and going in and doing what they do, and I should take it in the house and go write. Actually, the first joint I tried to rewrite was Mace record. I forgot, it was one of his freestyles. I mean, one of Mace freestyles. We be at the car show where all the stars go, with the Jacob Javits, girls laced with carrots. So, you know, I just flipped that and put my own twist on it. You know what I mean? So that was one of the first ones. And then from there, you know what I mean, I kind of used to hear dudes going in on a block, and I just wanted to, you know what I mean, do it like the way they did it. You know what I'm saying?
Can you write battle raps? I mean, I guess you can. But
he had to write those battle raps,
but I mean, what's the process for writing battle raps as opposed to writing a song? Because I think with a battle rap, you have a different focus. You have to focus on an opponent.
Battle rap, man, is chess for real.
So the difference between battle raps
and making records,
songs, man.
Yeah, you gotta. It's a lot of things you gotta take into consideration when you battle rapping. The opposition, not only writing something dope, but you gotta play defense too. You know what I'm saying? You got to know, or at least have a great imagination in putting those pieces together. But not only that, you got to be able to be a tactician, strategically put it together, and to know it's timing too. You got to know when your opponent probably would strike, you know what I mean, and what they're gonna, say. oppose, well, at least to come at you. So you got to defend against that. You know, all those come into the equation.
So before you even start like planning out the terrain and the map, where are you getting your strategic acumen from?
Well, with different opponents, you know what I mean? Based on your opponent, it changes, you know what I mean?
So you have to study tapes on your opponents.
Oh, of course.
Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Everything.
Instagram.
It's like football, like a lot of white guys watching film.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
There
like
you
this
go.
guy's in the boot, like, you know, really watching other plays, like cornerbacks watch wide receivers.
Right,
you know?
right. It's just
And
like,
tight ends.
It's like the fight game. you
So
know?
this particular fight, man, which is this battle, which was so classic, you and Calicoe, that
Yeah.
everybody's talking about, man.
Yeah.
How
dope
did you
battle.
How did you decide to take the strategy that you took with regard to this battle, man?
Well, in adversity, I'm looking at diversity between him and I. You know what I mean? Me, in terms of different demographic. You know what I mean? For one, knowing that I'm coming in there with a little bit more wisdom, everybody would look at that from that point of view. Like, you know, he's an older cat. He's coming in. You know what I
this
mean?
old head.
Yeah.
He hasn't been on the battlefield in a while. He's a little rusty.
Yo, so I said to myself, that's not such a weakness. That's a
See,
strength.
I like that.
Isn't
know what I
that,
mean?
isn't that
That's
the
a
end of the
strength.
game anyway to
See, I
get
like
older?
that. I like that.
Honestly, internet, isn't that the whole point of the game to get older?
Yeah, I mean,
See, but you know, there's a nihilistic type of lifestyle in rap. man.
yeah. For
But
some
like
reason.
you know what I'm saying? You die in a blaze of glory. Be
Bring
only
them
the
right
young,
back to
only
sender.
the young die. You know, only the good die young.
Bring them right back to
right,
center
right.
and know that YOLO, that's just a trend.
Yeah. But see, that's the great thing about like everything is perception. You know what I mean? In perspectives. You know what I mean? If I can show you another way of looking at things, then you could at least assess it.
Show you the big picture.
Yeah. You know, the large picture.
Show you the large
You
picture.
know what I mean? I gotta get them the large picture.
Now, before we get deep into this, man, tell me the science behind beloved, man. I saw you in the hallway. You greeted me with the term beloved.
Yeah.
Where's this? Because I like that, man. I mean, before you came in the studio, I was talking about how not on some super like mystical, spiritual vibe, but I'm about to relinquish my personal use.
Okay, beloved.
Of the word
Yeah.
nigga.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm listening to you. And
Yeah.
actually, your show, like watching you last week, kind of inspired me to this.
Right.
decision.
Okay.
So anyway, so talk about the science of beloved.
Beloved. Well, a lot of older guys used to use it, but you know, what I take from the term, it's a term of endearment. If you break it down, you know what I mean, in syllables, it's really be loved. You know what I mean? My thing on beloved is if I show you love, you know what I mean? If I put that vibration, that energy out there to you, then I let you know I'm coming in that form. It's not threatening. I'm giving you love because I want to be loved.
There's no hostility
At all, you know what I mean?
even if it's an aggressive environment.
Yeah, but I'm allowing you to know I'm coming with love, beloved. You know what I mean? So I'm giving you that. It's human nature to be loved, to show love. That's what we're here for.
And
You know what I'm
to
saying?
come with love.
Yeah, that's what it's about at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't, life is love in every sense of it. If I smile at you, that's just a degree of love. You know what I mean? Different things. We smile at each other, we dap each other, embrace each other. That's love. Listening is love. Like, you know what I mean? So it holds true in a lot of different, you know what I mean?
Now, is that
degrees.
one of your strategies, though, man? Because it's kind of hard to try to behead somebody, man.
They got a lot of love.
when they coming at you with love, man.
Yeah.
Is that one of the strategies?
Hey, man, it's hard to strike your brother. Ain't it?
But I'm finding though also in what you demonstrated in that last battle, man, that it seems like you really have a sense of knowledge of self.
Yes, sir, man.
Now, but tell me about that journey, about that knowledge of self, because what I'm hearing is the last time they seen you on the scene, last time you was on the scene, you was mean.
Right,
But
right.
it seemed like this time around you came back from the mountain a little bit more enlightened.
A little bit more prophetic.
Yeah. So what happened during them years, man? Did you go and chill with Moses? Like what the fuck?
You know, that's dope. You asked me that, man. A friend of mine gave me. Listen, this is one of the first. I love this book. It's just like my genesis. You know what I'm saying? I mean, y'all can check it out. If it's dope though. The Secret Science by John Baines.
Oh, that's a great book, man.
Oh, my beloved.
That's a great. Listen, I got that from an OT when I was up top.
Yeah.
Nah, that's a great book, man. Listen, I didn't read that book. I studied that book. I studied that book.
Okay, you studied.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. That's the type of book that you use a highlighter for. So you come back and that's a great. Listen, that's great. That's with the star in the front.
You be knowing.
Yeah, I be knowing, beloved.
So you read this book, man. You lived with this book.
The Secret Science by John Baines.
The Secret Science. And what is it about, man?
Yeah. No, it just breaks down man, like, you know what I mean, in terms of his nature. Truly. We all got it's a birthright. You got to live upward. I mean, that's what we here for.
Excelsior.
And we're not, and I say this, my main concern is our community right now is really not demonstrating
There you go.
living upward.
There you go. You know, so that was just the perfect setup, you know what I mean, for the me and Calicoe battle. I just knew, like certain things just need to be addressed. See, in expression of art, you know what I'm saying, like what you're doing, what everybody's doing here, we're expressing in a lot of ways, nature, truly what this thing should be about, you know what I mean? You express it through your art. Everybody has a way to do so, but sometimes we don't deal with it. I mean, you're conscious, and I don't want to really delve too deep into it, but you know,
Go deep.
go deep.
Go deep.
We go deep in this show, B.
I mean, yeah, that's dope. That's dope. But no, you always got that thing that says to you intuitively, like, which way to go,
Right.
you know, when you write.
That
You know,
compass,
you just
that
know it.
compass.
There you go, that compass. We all have it, you know what I mean? And when you live and you follow it, the guidelines, and life treats you right. And when you find yourself in undesirable situations, you know what you should have did, and you know how to get back. I mean, everything that they can possibly put in the book, we already know. We just gotta,
It's common sense that we need to remind ourselves in a
There you
sense
go.
on an intrinsic basis.
And,
Now, what I love about the dichotomy of hip hop is that it can be so brutal, but when you become, I mean, just from my personal perspective, and I'm not saying I'm enlightened, but when you do have a certain amount of light, but you're forced to be in that arena, isn't it like uplifting that you could use like the secret science against your opponent?
Yes.
And the motherfuckers just be stunned.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's hip hop is it's educational. I mean, every part of life is lesson. You know what I mean? Your whole trial in life is learning at every second.
Everything, even from your losses, everything.
Everything is knowledge.
So there was a buzz last week,
Okay.
last Wednesday specifically,
Okay.
about this battle. And the first thing I saw was that, is there something wrong with the mic? Yeah. First thing I saw was that it was 44 minutes. And I was like, I'm not looking at no battle rap for 44 minutes. But the buzz was so crazy.
Dope.
So I said, let me look through this shit. So I see you coming in with the funeral procession. You were in the black suit and the whole nine.
Right,
And then I saw the first round. So
Right.
the $1 million question is, did you choke?
They want to know this, man.
You gotta tell us. Keep it real with us.
Yo, I
Lux.
love Combat Jack. I love y'all, but you know me as a tactic.
But it's all right, because what I've learned also, before you give me the real answer, what I know also is that for you to be totally impervious and impenetrable,
Yes,
you
sir.
gotta embrace and sometimes expose your weaknesses.
Yeah.
And I thought it was such a dramatic point because I didn't know where this thing was going. I didn't know who won that battle.
Right,
So
right.
when I saw you
Dope.
stumble over the hospital beds, I was like, yo, where's this shit going? So, and everybody wants to know, okay, tell us this, Lux. Tell us this. If you're not going to answer, what was going through your mind at that point?
At that point, I mean, that still will kind of be giving it away because definitely how I explained it. You know what I mean? I didn't give it up just yet. I mean, I can't. I want to give it you.
Right.
I got so much love for you, King. You know what I'm saying? But to give you even that much will be giving it away.
Okay, so I'm
You
going
know
to
what I'm saying?
respect that.
Thank you.
I'm
thank you.
gonna definitely respect that.
My man.
How did you feel yesterday, man, about Jay-Z quoting you, man?
Oh man, that was.
You got quoted by Jay-Z yesterday, B, on Twitter. And he's not. I think he only has 106 tweets, or something like that. Can somebody go on his timeline and see how many
his
tweets?
tweets are real sporadic.
Yeah, he has
right?
like 100. He doesn't
time
have more. He doesn't have more than 200 tweets.
His last tweet was like 521 days ago.
And then
like,
he tweeted you, B.
It was
Like, how did that feel, B?
Overwhelming moment. Very surreal. Very, very surreal. You know, because definitely it's one of my peers that I definitely respect. A lot of respect for. Grew up in the neighborhood, and he was just always we listened to him word for word. You know what I mean? So, and I mean, I say my A alike definitely is his mentor and him as a lyricist. So that was big. But not only that, it's just statistically, if he's following, if he takes time out of his day, you know what I mean, just to watch what we have to say.
Then the ripples are just going through the universe right now.
There you go. And those who may have not in their spare time touched, you know what I mean, the surface of what we do. Or at least now, you know what I mean, go and see what it's about. Like, you know, you say you haven't watched it in a minute, but just to, you know, we sit there and just give a little of your time.
I watched it 5 times now. I've watched it 5 times because I had to just see what the fuck was going on.
Right.
Now, what made you choose the whole funeral theme? Because I thought that shit was brilliant.
Yeah.
That shit was so prophetic. Man.
Yeah. Thank you, beloved.
Like what made you go the funeral route? Man?
You know, they in the culture right now, the big thing is body bag. You know, you got body bag. Like if you lose terribly, that's a body bag. You know what I mean? That's what we call it. So I said, well, let's take it a step further. You know, if a man gonna die here today, let's have some respect for the deceased. You know, man's coming way from Detroit. We want to be hospitable New Yorkers. You know, let's treat the deceased with some respect. So in that regard, I wanted to go the whole way. If a loved one, if a loved one passed away, you would get dressed up.
The beloved man that you're battling.
Yes, sir. You know what I mean?
Took his his resources and his time and came to your hometown.
There you go.
And you knew he was gonna die. So you wanted to dispose of the body as respectfully as possible.
Did you bring a mass card? Did you bring a mass card with you?
A mask card.
See, next time you got to bring a mask
with the face on it.
Yes,
with the face on it. I mean, you know,
and when
you know that card. How many cards you got premium in the collection?
I got so many. I'm Italian. We got either they're in witness protection or they're make believe dead or they're really dead. You know, you don't know. They're probably living in Arizona somewhere.
So the whole thing is you wanted to deal with this as classy as possible.
Yes, sir.
And now I watched today for the first time the video that you did before. Like preparing for the funeral. And it was hilarious, man. Like he's going to like funeral homes and he's like sizing up caskets and pricing them. And he's going to the airports. He's going to the airports and talking about how do I transport a body from New York to Detroit or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you drive to like the cemetery and the cemetery's closed and he's looking at the headstones and he's like, yo, you had so much charisma, B. Like have you studied acting, man?
Nah, not really. No, I just
a natural.
I think in some ways it's connected. You know,
without
with
question.
being an artist, you got conceptual records, and you have to go into that, frame. You know what I mean, to create. So I think it's definitely connected somewhere.
What now? How do you top this performance? Because really, you've now shown that battle rap is performance art. Yes, and it always was.
Sir.
True story is that it always was.
Yes, sir.
I mean, this goes back to the nature of the dozens. This goes back to...
Hold on. I got to interrupt you. Jay-Z's, on his Twitter account, before he tweeted you, he had 34 tweets. Damn. You are the 35th tweet, B. Jay-Z got that work, B. The 35th tweet, B. Get that man a round of applause.
That's dope.
The 35th Jay-Z tweet, B. So anyway, going back to how do you top this, man?
Always gotta adjust to your opponent, you know what I mean? At the same time, I gotta fill out, what the people are talking about and what they're looking forward to. So it just has to all line up with the storyline. You know what I mean? See, this is a storyline. You gotta understand something. Calicoe called me out at the previous Summer Madness. You know what I mean? So only in my return it would make so much sense.
He called you out, and this is when you were, in a sense, retired.
Right. And I just came to enjoy, the show as a fan.
Right.
You know what I'm
You were in
saying?
the audience.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the man called me out.
How'd you feel about that?
I thought it was a friendly gesture, for real. I mean, but at the same time, though, and knowing I was going to make my return, this was perfect.
Right.
Like,
Like he took the bait, in a sense, like the invisible bait that you didn't even put out yet.
Yeah, right.
Well, you knew someone had to get that work.
Yeah, there you go.
Who was it going to be?
Somebody had to get it in my return, and this was perfect.
Now, where did that come up with? Where'd you come up with get that work, man? Because that right there, right now, is the mem of the day.
But he's street talk.
Yeah.
Street talk.
I used to always say like watch me work. You know what I mean? Like me having conversations with pops and everything like that. Like, man, don't do too much talking. And if you're a naysayer, well, then watch me work.
Right.
That's all. Watch me work.
Right.
You know what I mean? So in the heat of battle, it felt so right. This is what we do. Like we don't dress anything up. We don't talk that talk. We know hard work gonna get it done. Pops used to say, you know what I mean, man, don't take no shortcuts. You don't cut corners.
You got a good relationship with your pops.
Yes, sir.
And in a sense, do you know that the plight of the black family, disintegration of the black family, a lot of us don't have that relationship with that. So was that also part of the strategy?
There you go. You recognize that.
It's evident.
Yeah.
It's evident, man.
Yeah, everyone should, but it's just, it makes it more of the elephant in the room when it's said. You know what I mean? And this was perfect in terms of you know, Calicoe and his background, and I recognized his situation. You know what I mean? And this was
And his situation is, you know, he's you know, BMF, and his pops was a BMF lieutenant. His pops is doing time.
Right.
And unfortunately, that's a psychosis that our community gravitates to and glorifies. And like my pops is a thug, and I'm an OG, and I have no problem killing y'all, killing us. Now, and you realize that also as your strength.
There you go.
You know, I was talking to a couple cats last week in the studio, and our producer, executive producer Chris, was like, I kind of felt sorry for Calicoe because it was kind of like bloodthirst. Like, tell him how you felt, man.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I felt sorry for him. I just felt he got overwhelmed at the end. Obviously, became very personal. I mean, the question that I have really is, you know, the tape at least ends very abruptly. And what happened next? I mean, you know, at the end of a sporting event, no matter how intense it is, you give somebody a pound, they line up, they shake hands. You know, I was just curious.
Yeah, no, he was a great sport about it.
There you go.
Yeah, he was a great sport about it. We seen each other after the fact. We even had a conversation off camera. Did some things on camera. Took some pictures. You know what I mean. He even did a drop for the Lions Den.
So it ended very cordially.
Yeah,
and because at a certain point, man, I thought somebody was gonna swing on somebody. I thought somebody was gonna swing on somebody, man.
It got heated. It got heated. But we all at the same time are mature enough to know we have to have good sportsmanship in order for this thing to grow.
Right.
You know what I mean? Can't build and destroy. You know what I'm saying?
Now in some challenges, right? In some challenges, sometimes like even when you're the player and you're the opponent, you might not know where it's gonna go.
Right.
Did you know where this thing was gonna go from the gate?
I mean, you walk in there with some butterflies.
Right.
That you know is.
And after the
inevitable.
first round, did you know if that gamble or whatever you want to call it, if that was gonna work in your favor or against you?
I was on edge like pretty much throughout this battle.
Nice.
I was on edge.
And that's honest, and I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, I was definitely on edge, and I guess that's what gave me the strength to perform the way that I performed.
Now let's talk about that last round, B. That last round, I can't.
Famous third round.
I can't even like on a certain level, man. It was completely brutal because you went through his whole you basically broke him down to his very last compound. Right?
Yeah.
So in a sense, I definitely understand what Chris was saying. It was brutal. Like it was it was beyond personal.
Right.
But what I got from it, even in that arena. And I'm not trying to give you all the props, but I do think you deserve this. I saw black excellence in that battle.
Wow, thank you, champ. Thank you.
But did you want to hurt his feelings, B?
I did want him to feel. Well, they say the best lessons are best learned in blood. You know what I'm saying? Trainers in boxing usually break you down to build you up. You know what I mean? So I did want to.
I know a hemophiliac ain't say that. Hemophiliac be like, yo, just give me the book. I'll read that shit.
No, but I did want to break them down to build them up. I did want what I was saying to touch, to stick. You know what I mean, with them. So in order to do that, man, you have to touch a person's soul. You know how we say, can you feel me? You know what I mean? Because if something is said and if it's genuine, if it's from your core, when I say it to you, the energy that I possess when I say it, you feel it. You know what I mean?
But how are you beating this man down and telling him, look at me, king?
Yeah, because I need him to know he's still a king. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? He's still that. Even though he's operating on a lower frequency, but he's still that.
Right.
You feel me? And I got to give it to him like that. I want him to know you still that and you can build. You know what I mean? So,
now, outside of the arena, man. Outside of the arena.
You teach at that school on 125th?
that was my question.
That school, you know that school on 125th and 5th? That new joint they built? You gotta have a class in there, a weekly class in there, brother. On some learning annex shit, for real.
Nah, I just try to stay abreast, man. Stay my head in the book.
You said there's responsibility in words, and if you have a voice, although a lot of people in our culture want to turn away from that, it's inevitable that you have a responsibility.
Yeah.
So what's your responsibility right now, man? Or what do you feel your mission is, right? Because you don't do a performance that strong,
right,
and not have a sense of mission.
Yeah, man, definitely got a mission. You know what I mean? Truth got to be said, light got to be shown, got to be seen. You know what I'm saying? And we lead by example. So I just hope I could do that, you know what I mean, if they say your life is as important as the lives you impact. You know what I mean? So it's just certain things that I believe and I hold true to my soul, to my everything, to my being. You know what I'm saying? And I got to do what I have to do to express that to loved ones, to everybody around me. You know what I mean? We get inspired by watching others do their thing. See Jordan go on that court and do what he does, or Jay-Z in an arena, and you know, anybody that's successful, you can't help it be inspiring. And if you feel another way about it, then you're not acting in your nature. You know what I mean? You know, they say, you know, jealousy and things of that nature. So those are lower frequencies, you know what I mean? So we got to build, and I just know that I have to express it through my art, do it the best way that I know how. And everybody's here to fill a void, so I'm just doing it, you know, through my lane.
I think you're greater than rap, man. And this is not to shit on rap, but I definitely think you're greater than rap. And I definitely want you. I want to see you go, like you said, man. Like you said that when you were dealing with Jazzy Joyce, right?
Right.
She dared you.
Yes, she did.
To change the perception.
Yes, she
and
did.
I think you've already accomplished that with battle rap. I want to continue to see you change that perception.
Evolve.
You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that,
Upwards.
King.
And I know I know you're gonna do that, King, right?
Yeah.
I know you're gonna do
dope.
that, beloved, right?
I mean, man, the adversity creates progress.
You
so
gave
how
us that
about
work, but you gotta give the greater world that work, man.
Okay.
All right?
I believe you.
Internets, we
man.
got Loaded Lux
Dope.
in the
Dope.
studio, man.
Internets.
Yo, where can they find you, man?
You guys can hit me on my Twitter at I am Loaded Lux. I'm there. LoadedLux.co. Definitely go there to find out everything I got going on and coming up.
Get
with.
that gear.
Yeah, get that
that
you gonna
work.
get
Cop
this
that
work
merch.
Shirts.
Yo, Lux, man. Anytime, man, you want to come on the Combat Jack show.
Dope,
You know,
man.
it's an open invitation, man.
Groovy.
he gonna be
And like I
down
said,
in
I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
What would you say, Pete?
Is he gonna be down in Atlanta? You gonna be
Are you
down
going
in
to eight-
Yeah, we booked the flight yet? Yeah, we
Yeah.
we down there.
We're doing a show out there, man.
Yeah,
we're interviewing Killer Mike.
Dope. I love to come through, man.
Now come
I'm
through,
definitely
man.
Be there.
Definitely come through, man. Anytime.
Dope,
Internets.
dope,
Killer
dope.
Mike. What we gonna do? Loaded Lux. Who our special guest?
No, I mean A3C. Nah, not yet. Next week maybe.
Well, Loaded. Like I said, man.
A3C
Welcome to the
Internets.
Combat Jack show.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
There you go. I think everybody should watch that video, man. Just sit down and watch it. Just throw all your expectations out. Watch that Loaded Lux versus Calicoe. I mean, it's just a great. I mean, I think it's. Somebody sent me the Iron Solomon and what?
Murder Mook.
I mean, I'm not gonna start watching all of them. I mean, that's not my thing. No shots at anybody, but I'm just glad I caught that Calicoe and Lux, man.
Yeah.
Lux is enjoying the moment right now.
And so you feel like it showed you what battle rap could be at its best.
Just what rap could be. Just what
But the whole presentation.
theatrical performance.
I gotta tell you something. What I took from it was that, you know what, mainstream rap has to improve on their performance. Too often, I think people don't realize that rappers, the original rappers, knew they had to come up and perform in front of people.
They were showmen.
Yeah,
because they wanted to be the
people are so entitled right now that hold the microphone. That they
original
don't
rappers
think,
wanted to be the OJs. They wanted to be the Four Tops. They wanted to be Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Lux, this is your first time on the Combat Jack show. How was the experience going on the show?
Blessed, man. Jack did right. It's a pleasure to meet your A alike. Like, I know he tuned in, you know what I mean? So to have them conversations in depth, like, yo, it's inexplicable, you know what I mean? The feeling I get to have those, you know what I mean? So anytime I can, blessing, because I know we're going to put that message out there, so that was dope.
Inexplicable. A King word of the day.
Constituents.
Combat Jack show. Constituents. A King. You know,
Yes, sir.
Salute, getting us down to A3C. Combat Jack show. Going to Atlanta.
What else?
The other one, quick.
I feel kind of honored because usually, you know, we're looking at the established guys and this and that. But when I saw Lux last week, not that he's not established, but I was like, it'd be great to have him for this episode, and things fell into. I thought we were gonna lose you today, King. I thought we were gonna lose you. People got a little messed up, but we got him, and I feel real honored that we got Lux in.
I'm glad that
today,
I came through, man.
You know what's even dope? Him showing people to read books, man. Secret science, man. Secret science. It's a way of life, man. It's a movement. John, listen, go out there and get that. Head to Barnes and Noble. They still exist.
Yes,
Amazon.com.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, do that too.
Secret Science by John Baines. Dope.
Read the book.